Welcome back to Clash of Cultures. Today we're going to be recapping the Texas versus Washington Sugar Bowl matchup. Obviously, really good game. Came down to the wire. The Washington Huskies pulled it off to go meet up with Michigan in the national championship game. That we're going to have an SEC list national championship game. So kind of a first one in a really long time. I just want to get on here and kind of give us our thoughts immediately after the game. Those of you guys who are new to this channel, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. But let's get right into it. Dad, what is your kind of immediate takeaways from this game, and how do you feel about Washington heading to the national championship?
Yeah, man, that Washington passing offense is legit. Michael Penix and his ability to spread the ball around, right? So he had 4 people with at least 5 catches. 5, 6, 7 people with catches altogether. His ability to spread the ball around, that Washington receiving core is something very special. So he went 430 yards, and then he throws a very pretty deep ball. But man, kudos to Texas. They fought to the very end. There were a couple of times that I think we both thought this game was over, that they were dead, and they continued to push through. Quinn Ewers had a very good game. 318 yards, 1 touchdown. Had some key runs, had some key drives in which he extended plays and had them in the fight until the very, very end. At the end of the day, there were some things that Washington did kind of boneheaded, both in the first half and the second half, that kept Texas in the game. I thought Washington, I don't want to say dominated the game, but I think watching the game, I think the score should have been much wider than what it ended up being. A last second play from the 12-yard line. This is a formidable team. And like I said, this receiving core is very good. They do need to clean up some of the mistakes. I don't like, and I'm sure we'll talk about this here in a minute, I don't like the rule that the clock stopped because of an injury. That situation, a player genuinely injured, and we'll talk about Dillon Johnson, obviously, especially as we head into the national championship game, but a player legitimately injured really kind of was the situation that gave Texas an opportunity, right? Texas was out of timeouts. Washington would have been able to take the game down to about 15 seconds, if my calculations are right, about 15 seconds, which really would have put Texas in a bad position. And because of a player getting legitimately injured, the clock stopped. The clock does not restart in those situations. And, I know the fake injury thing and all that, but it almost gave Texas an opportunity. They ended up getting the ball with, instead of 15 seconds, about 45 seconds, and the opportunity to take the ball down and try to score a touchdown. What's your thoughts?
Obviously, the game was a 6-point game. I had it way wider margin. I had Washington winning by 18, I believe. I think my prediction was 45-27. Heading into the fourth quarter, I thought that the prediction was going to come true. I think it was 34-21, if I'm not mistaken. Heading into that point, I think it was 34-21, 34-21 because they hit the field goal late. And then they had the ball, and then Texas kind of just kept clawing back. Both teams put up about 500 yards of total offense. That kind of scares me a bit for Washington because you gave up 500 yards to Texas, and I would say Michigan's offense is a little bit better than Texas's offense, especially their run game.
I think it's different, yeah.
And your secondary didn't hold up well against Quinn Ewers. And I think Michigan is going to run the ball a lot more. But, I mean, today, J.J. McCarthy was still throwing the ball quite a bit against Alabama. Yeah. So if you're unable to stop, the run game, or if you decide to load the box, you don't really have those guys out that you can just put in on islands to win matchups, even against a team like Michigan, who doesn't have the greatest receivers in the country, like your own offense. But I think they'll still be able to win the one-on-one matchups against your secondary, because your secondary has kind of been your weakness throughout the regular season. I mean, this game alone, Texas doubled their penalties, so that kind of helped Washington. They had 10 penalties compared to Washington's 5. Obviously, we talked about Dillon Johnson getting hurt late in the game, so that's going to be a area of concern for them heading into next week. After the game, I'm not sure if you saw it when we hopped immediately on our live show, but Penix on the podium, they asked him, do you feel like this was your best game as a Husky? And he said, no, we still got one more to go. So he feels like he's going to really, 430 yards, 2 touchdowns. If he tops that against Michigan, and is able to get the win, in your eyes, where would he rank? If he had, even if we just say he has this kind of game, 400 yards, 2
Yeah.
touchdowns, no turnovers,
No,
what kind
that'd
of
be
performance
absolutely
would that be?
that'd be absolutely crazy. I put the Vince Young game against USC. I think it was 2005, where he basically single-handedly carried them to that national championship with 200 yards rushing, 200 yards passing. As probably my greatest, and I'm going to say in my eyes, right? So if you go back to the 80s and 70s, I probably can't talk much about those performances, but the greatest performance in a championship game I've seen. If you're able to go 430, if he's able to go 430 against this Michigan defense, it could be neck and neck with that. Especially if he goes 430 and they're able to pull off the win against Michigan. Again, I don't think it's insurmountable that they're going to be able to win, but if they're able to win with him going 430 or something crazy like that, yeah, I think you got to put that up there.
And I kind of wonder, this is a random like stat, and I don't know if it's true, but I wonder, has there been a team that's won a national championship that were underdogs in the final 3 games of that run? Because Washington was an underdog against Oregon in the Pac-12 title game, and then an underdog in this game, and then they're going to be an underdog against Michigan. So
the only team I would think off the top of my head would be that Ohio State national championship team with Cordell, because of the quarterback situation. But I don't know if we were underdogs against Wisconsin.
There's no way you guys were. Yeah, there's no way.
Well, we were on our 3rd quarterback, and that's the only reason I say that. We were on our 3rd quarterback at that point.
Yeah.
So you got to remember, a lot of people did not know much about Cardell going into that game. I'm not saying I don't know off the top of my head. That's the only situation that I could think would be like that. But yeah, and maybe that's part of this, right? That Washington feels a little disrespected, that they are not getting the love for a team that's undefeated. And to me, what has clearly been the most competitive conference this year. And I got a caveat with this year. They were able to beat Oregon team twice that I think we all kind of think is a very good team. And literally run the table in the Pac-12. This is a great team. I think the Michigan team is a great team as well. And this is stylistically, these teams are so different. And you've seen that difference in this Texas game. I think Texas is much closer to what a Michigan team is. I think they do throw the ball a little bit more with Quinn, but they're kind of a tough in the trenches team, and they were not able to get to the quarterback in this game, right? And I'm not saying Penix always had a clean pocket, but he mostly had a clean pocket, and they had no sacks. A lot of quick plays, a lot of quick passes, and I think they'll try to utilize that again next week.
It's kind of interesting. As the year went on, this I don't think this is a hot take, but it might be an unpopular opinion. I think Penix has the best arm in college football. Like, he can make every throw. I just feel like if he needs to fit it in, he's going to. I feel like he throws the deep ball perfectly. I would say the only knock that he has is I feel like the trajectory of the ball is really close down to the defensive lineman. But I never see D linemen really getting the hand on the ball. But I feel like he throws the deep ball perfectly. The back shoulder route is perfect for him. We saw the kind of the skinny post he threw the touchdown to number 11.
With literally inches to fit that in.
He had some zip. So I'm very excited to see this number 1 offense go against the number 1 defense in Michigan. I said, something has to give.
Something that, and I'm sure it'll be talked about this week, is Penix is somewhat familiar with Michigan, playing at Indiana. He spent his first couple of years at Indiana, so obviously he played in the Big Ten and played Michigan. So it's not like he's altogether unfamiliar with Harbaugh and this style of football. He's played it before. Now obviously he's going to be playing a little bit different of an offense. But like I said, these receivers are legit, and I think they're going to cause Michigan some problems.
Yeah, if Michigan can get to the quarterback like they did today against Alabama, then it's going to be an issue for him because he's not mobile like Milroe is. So I think that's going to cause some concern. But he's also getting the ball out really quick. I think the weapons for Washington is a lot better than the weapons for Alabama at this point in the season, at least.
Especially on outside,
Yeah, so very, very excited for this matchup. We're going to be doing our preview for this game later in the week.
Absolutely.
probably Saturday or Sunday, day or two before the national championship game. We still are going to be doing our recap series where we're recapping all of the teams we previewed throughout the year. So please let us know in the comment section, not only what you thought about this game, but what teams you guys want to see us recap. We already did USC. So that one was really fun. We have Colorado dropping tomorrow for you guys. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Help us get to that 1,000 subscriber mark so we can give away that signed Heisman jersey and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. We'll see you guys tomorrow during the Colorado recap. Peace out.